What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. First 4x4 Econoline in the new shop. But if you guys have been following the channel and watching the video where we talked about this 4x4 Econoline with it lacking power and needing an IDM, well, we've already put an IDM in it and we've already replaced and repaired the rear axle leak. It is now time to show you what I thought was in the fuel tank. All right, guys, let's go. All right, guys, here we are in the tank. Hello. If you guys remember, this was the vehicle that we bore scoped the fuel tank. Now, this was a 7.3 liter, and all the 7.3s predominantly have this same type of setup in the fuel tank. On our 7.3s, we have a fuel pump that is on the frame. I've made a video showing you guys how to replace that frame-mounted fuel pump. Not that big of a deal, but if you have a restriction, whether it is a poorly flowing fuel pump, bad fuel filter, or this part that is in the fuel tank. Here is the fuel sender. We have two fuel lines, an electrical connector to show us what the actual fuel level is, and here's our float. In or on all 7.3s that have this part in the tank, this contraption holds two tiny filters. Do you guys remember the discoloration that I was showing you within the body when I was having the bore scope light actually shine on it? Well, here it is out of the tank, and you guys can see the discoloration right there in the plastic. It should be looking like that, not like this. So my suspicions were correct. Once we dropped the fuel tank out, I was able to actually see these filters, but it was only when I broke the bottom piece apart. There's a tab here, and a tab right here, which is then going to allow you to pull out these filters all the way. There's not a real way to clean these except for actually removing these. Now that's gonna be from the sediment that has came through the tank, came through this sock, which did not have a clamp on it, so that could actually fall off in the tank and will allow you to only suck fuel at a certain height. Imagine if that sock was not on here. Imagine if that sock was not on here, we wouldn't be sucking fuel from right here. We'd be sucking from here. So imagine how much fuel would be in the tank that we could not pick up. We'd be sucking air. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these filters all the way out of this plastic little housing. Gonna leave them connected, but check, I don't wanna get my hands too nasty here. I don't like diesel fuel. Just look at this. You can barely see any light. So what I was envisioning happening was when the vehicle was sitting stationary and this was all flooded with fuel, all of the sediment fell down into the bottom of this. Now, when the fuel starts being sucked up into these tube, I should say, because one's return, all of that fuel was being restricted by this sediment until we started moving around and everything started getting sloshed around and fuel finally started flowing. I don't know if you guys have ever had this problem on your 7.3, but we're gonna go ahead and clean these with some Braclean. I'm gonna show you guys how much crap is gonna come out of these, and we'll rebuild this with fresh, clean filters. And we're gonna reinstall this back into the tank and then back into the truck. Brake Clean Mafia. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna keep flooding this whole filter with Brake Clean. Look at all that. Oh man. Let's go get a fresh can. I'm gonna be taking you guys on a tour and showing you the new shop. But as of right now, we have some business to take care of. And that's fine. We already went through another can. Got it. Brake Clean. Hammer down that. There you go. Hammer that thing down. Funky train. Ugh. Definitely been like that for a while. I think I made a short on this quite some time ago, but I never showed you an actual video of cleaning those filters out. And we might need a little persuasion with some air. I'm gonna try that real quick. Make sure that we make these filters clean again. All right, pop this on. Pop this on, see if we can blow some of that debris loose.
I can do this.
Oh man, that looks so much better. Like, look at all that debris down in there. Holy crap. That is how they are supposed to. I call these my little Chinese finger trap filters because that's kind of what they remind me of. And they literally just sit in this housing. You guys can almost see the discoloration right in here. We're gonna have to clean the sediment out of this little plastic bottom piece, and then we'll put the filters back up in there. So the fuel sucks up, goes through the filters, comes back down, and then goes through the tube that is going to the engine. I remember back, I would say 18, 19, 20 years ago, I got burned on an Econoline that wound up being this. And the code P1211 was the dead giveaway that I just did not know. I was not familiar with why we were setting a 1211 ICP too low, too high than desired. Well, my friends, the PCM is going to always compensate for a lack of power. Whether that is fuel volume, it is gonna open the floodgates for all of the injection pressure to push the extra fuel that it needs into the cylinder. But if we don't have extra fuel, i.e. these are clogged, or you have a fuel system restriction, you're gonna wind up setting the P1211. That was an indicative code, and I'll never forget that. These filters are always on my mind, especially when I'm talking about a 7.3 that has low power. So we just got both of them clean. Now we're gonna put these back in. We're gonna clean out. You can see that sediment right there. See, it's all nasty. We clean all that out, put the filters back in, and then I'll show you popping this all back down and secure. Okay, we have the filters in. You guys can't see nothing down in there. Fuel doesn't look too bad, but newly clean filters. Everything is nice and clean like it should be. Sorta. Okay, I need two hands. Okay, coming down. Fuel tank is in. Lines connected, hoses connected. One thing I remember about the Econolines is that the fuel tank straps went actually through the frame. So you always had a big ass stud you had to deal with, ratcheting wrench, or I guess a deep well socket, but then you're going up against the body. So definitely saw what I wanted to see in the fuel tank. We're gonna start this thing up, check for codes with the IDM, make sure those are all cleared, and then take this thing for a rip, because we were definitely lacking power on Excel. Let me know if this video helped you guys out. If you ever had a 4x4 Econoline or a 7.3 for that matter that had a restriction in the fuel tank. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to like, comment, sub, share, and I'll catch you guys all next time working on another 4x4.